And I'm joined now by the Mayor of the City of Cornwall, Bernadette Clement. Welcome, Madam Mayor.
Hello, thank you for having me.
All right, so in this ever rapidly changing situation, the city does have some relief for taxpayers. So we'll start with that, and we'll talk about the decision that Council made last week to defer some tax payments.
Yes, so we became aware that other municipalities were doing this, of course, and we became aware of many requests coming in on the part of residents and from the Chamber of Commerce. So administration prepared a report as quickly as possible, and then we had our special council meeting on Friday to debate that. And it was a unanimous decision, of course, for council to agree to have a bylaw in place to allow for a later payment or deferred payment of tax payments. So the details of all of that are on cornwall.ca, or there's always somebody that can call and get an answer as well for details. Because at this point we want to provide relief for residents as quickly as possible so that they understand that the March 31st tax payment can be pushed back.
Excellent. Now, for those that aren't automatic withdrawal, is this technically automatic for those taxpayers?
Yeah, so anyone who wants to use this process should communicate with the city, because we've been informed that some people who have automatic payment want to continue with that, right? Not everybody's in the same situation. So if you want the deferral, then you should reach out. But if you go on cornwall.ca, all of those details are there. And there's an explanation for what you do when you have an automatic payment and when you don't.
Excellent. And finally, on this topic, this is a 45-day deferral. But if this crisis worsens, there is the possibility as well of further relief down the road, correct?
So our city council is going to continue to meet, right? We put in place at that same special council meeting an electronic process so that we can continue to meet more easily. So if things change or if things need a response, our council is able to meet, and we can do that fairly swiftly. So yes, if things change, the matter can come back before council, and we will debate that once again.
Excellent. And now we'll pop this up on the screen for our viewers. There is a helpline from the City of Cornwall for anything COVID related that people need information from the city.
So that is really important. Thank you for raising that. We put in place a phone number, and this is it's operated through our social services office. There are actually 3 staff people who are answering calls, but it's not just for people on social services. It really is for anybody who is, maybe seeking some assistance, trying to figure out what the resources are, have COVID-19 questions. So what we're doing is we're either answering the questions when we can or referring them to the right phone number, the right place. So we're getting an increasing number of calls. It started off fairly slowly, but now we've got a steady clip of calls, and that's good. We want people to be able to access, websites, but we also need to have traditional ways for people to communicate, and picking up a phone is actually often a very good way to get a question answered or to get a resource. So very important for us to have that phone line available.
Absolutely. And just on a final note, Madam Mayor, we know we've seen earlier in the week and on past weekend, a lot of travelers returning home, a lot of consternation on social media that some people aren't getting the message that right now, for everybody, it's important to practice social distancing, but especially for travelers, they need to stay home for 14 days to make sure that they don't spread the virus.
Exactly. So we know the March break ended, and so many people came back from vacation. Also, the Prime Minister and the federal government said to Canadians, come home, right? So there are also people coming back under these circumstances. So it's very important for them to understand that they have to self-isolate, which means that they come home, straight home. They're not really to be going out and picking up groceries on their way home. We heard the Minister of Health today say very sternly that people have to come straight home and make arrangements for others to be able to run their errands for them for that 14-day period. The other thing that we're doing now, too, is that we're hearing is that it's not just social distancing, it's physical distancing. So we really need to maintain that distance of 1 to 2 meters between each other when we're out and about. But really the message is stay home as much as possible. Stay home.
On that note, Madam Mayor, I'll thank you once again for updating our viewers on the COVID-19 crisis right here in the City of Cornwall, and best of luck.
I'll always be available for that. Thank you.